Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining me today. This is Marilyn Gale. Today's article is about an herbalist that recommended or told the parents to take a 13-year-old boy from insulin, and the little 13-year-old ended up dying. A self-proclaimed master herbalist is headed to jail for his role in the death of a 13-year-old boy with type 1 diabetes after he allegedly told the boy's parents not to use insulin. According to the Washington Post, Timothy Morrow was sentenced to a total of 4 months in jail and 4 years of probation on Monday for child abuse and practicing medicine without a license following the death of Edgar Lopez in August 2014. The parents of Lopez, who weighed just 68 pounds at the time of his death, reportedly said that they were told by Morrow that if they took their son to the hospital, he would be killed there. They claimed that Morrow told them to instead rub lavender oil on their son's spine and prescribe herbal medication that he claimed would cure their son of diabetes for the rest of his life. Lopez's mother, Maria Madrigal, who said she once viewed Morrow like a god. Mistake. After attending no, that's for me, not the article. That was a big mistake. You don't view anybody like a god. Let me go on. After attending a few of his seminars on herbal medicine, reportedly that she said she saw her son's condition improve under Morrow's guidance for a short while. But 2 months before her son's death, Madrigal said she began to see symptoms of her son's diabetes return. Though Madrigal said she had been warned that her son's condition could worsen again by his pediatrician, she said she chose to take Morrow's advice instead and continued to refrain from giving her son's insulin shot. Madrigal alleged that Morrow had told her that her son was experiencing a high crisis, but that the 7th grader's diabetes would eventually be cured for life. But Delvino Lopez Solis, Lopez's father, reportedly claims the family has been brainwashed by Morrow and said his son's condition only worsened. Solis reportedly said in court that Morrow visited his family's home several times in the days leading up to his son's death and advised them to keep giving their son herbs and reflexology to help his son's release toxins. When their son appeared to stop breathing, Lopez's family said Morrow told them to open windows to bring in more air, according to the Post. Lopez's family reportedly said it wasn't until their son's breathing became more shallow that Morrow finally said that they could contact the local authorities. Lopez died at the Harbor UCLA Medical Center a day before he was taken in for treatment. Though Morrow reportedly did not testify during the trial, he denied telling Lopez's parents not to give him insulin in videos of being questioned by police. In other videos that was shown at the beginning of the trial, Morrow reportedly called a tumor gift from God, said insulin is very poisonous to the system, and hosted videos on his YouTube account that claimed vaccines were obsolete poison for children. Morrow has since been ordered to remove videos he shared to YouTube that advocate for the use of herbs in place of seeking traditional medical treatment, and has reportedly been warned that he will be charged with murder if his practices lead to the death of another person going forward. He has also reportedly been ordered to cover Lopez's funeral costs and pay a fine of $5,000. Boy, that was hard to hear. First of all, I'm diabetic. I'm type 2. And I know there's a lot of things out there on how you can cure diabetes and how to make it better and things that the diabetes will cause. You could have kidney problem and pancreas problems and how to take certain things to reverse those actions. Well, I take black seed oil capsules. But you better believe I'm taking my other medication too. And then if, and only then, will I go to the doctor, have me check it out, and we kind of, lessen my dose. Not completely take me off, but lessen my dose. I will not just cold turkey not take my medicine. I don't care what a herbalist says. I don't care what nobody says. That's your child. You're responsible for your child. Don't believe people, these miracle cures. Yes, you can take things and check your A1C count, your blood count, and see how it's helping. But ultimately, whether it's you or your child or someone, it's your body. Do not take people's advice on and they're telling you to not take it at all. I don't care who they are. Now, for me, I'm not recommending this to nobody. I'm just telling you what I do. I'll try something, but I will continue my medication. But if the doctor orders me something that I know is not right, I'm not taking that either. That's me. Not telling you guys not to do that. That's me. Remember years ago when I think that was Aptos or something, the medicine, and they took it and they stopped giving it to diabetics because it was ruining people's kidneys, and people were ending up having to get a kidney transplant or go on dialysis. And it's a big thing in the health community about that. In fact, I know somebody who their doctor had prescribed that for years. Guess what? They're on dialysis right now, unless they got a transplant. They're on it because I had not heard, about that person in a while. They're on dialysis right now. But let me tell you, and I won't say any names, but a doctor prescribed me that. Now, I thought it was discontinued or off the market. I didn't think that they could use that anymore, but I'm telling you what I was told. The doctor told me that he was going to prescribe me that. And I told him, I said, isn't that the medication that was causing people to have to get a transplant? I said, no, I'm not taking that. Prescribe something else. I would not take it because I was aware of what happened. I don't know what the deal was because I thought it was off the market. But you have to also read some of those warnings. And I'm not giving medical advice. I'm just telling common sense stuff. You have to read some of those warnings because a lot of times those side effects that you have, and this could cause this and this could cause that, and eventually this could cause that. I have to weigh, whether, okay, this is more dangerous to side effects than my actual ailment. And I'm not just talking about diabetes. I'm talking about anything. You first have to get a physician that you trust, if there is such a thing. But there's a lot of good doctors out there that's giving good advice. You have to find that doctor that is not just throwing things at you to shut you up. There's a lot of good doctors out there. And so I weigh in on, okay, let me read these side effects. Let me read these warnings and see what this medication is capable of. So that's what I do. And if it doesn't sound right, I'll talk to the physician that I have right now, which is another one. Let's see what another one says, because I'm not feeling that one. Let's see what side effects another one that will do the job. You have to do your research. Don't just depend on someone telling you something. Now, do I think that herbalist is wrong? Yeah, he is. I believe he told her that, the family of the 13-year-old, I believe that everything they say, I believe is true. But the parents has to take responsibilities too, because what he was telling them was, to me, madness. Just madness. Do not take your insulin. To tell a type 1, a diabetic person not to take your insulin? They have not found a cure yet, even through, I don't care. Mm-mm. Now, what you can do, and I was told contrary, you would have this for the rest of your life, which I don't believe. You can lose weight. You can, and just avoid those carbs and those foods that spike your sugar count. That's what I do. I'm telling you my experience. So don't go report me saying I'm giving medical advice. This is common sense and my experience as a diabetic. I am on the road to losing weight now slowly. And yes, I do see a difference in that, because doctors will tell you, depending on your weight, okay, you lose 50 pounds, I don't have to give you that medication anymore. So to me, it's just taking away the problem caused by the being obese. Get that equation out of the way and you could, discontinue your medication. Now that's for type 1. Type 2. I don't know about type 1. Whether if you lose 50 pounds, because I know, some people like, what's her name? Holly Berry. She's type 1. And I think if I'm not mistaken, she has the little device that, just automatically feed the insulin into her as needed. But look at her. She can't lose no 50 pounds. She'd be Skeletor, So, I'm not talking about type 1 as far as losing weight. And you can, I don't believe that's, in my knowledge, I don't believe that, that would eradicate the diabetes. I don't think so. I've not read that to be true, or found that to be true, knowing type 1 diabetics. But I blame the herbalist for giving them that asinine information, and the parent has to hold some type of responsibility of going against everything she knows and believing that herbalist to the point where now your child has passed away. So yes, I'm surprised he didn't get more time. I am very surprised that he didn't get more time. But as parents, at which we're the steward of our children, and as someone who experiences diabetes, you have to put some common sense on there. And I'm not trying to drag that family. She's suffering. The family is suffering the loss of their child. But anytime you say you looked at somebody as they were a god, okay, it sounds like you have been brainwashed. There is no other God but God. And I'm glad when they typed the article out, they put the lower G because God is a capital G. Oh, yes, there is a difference. You can idolize people. No one on this earth should be looked upon as a God. Nobody. Even if someone came up with a cure for all diseases, they are not a God. Their knowledge came from God. So give him the glory. So I'm going to stop preaching, y'all. So that's all I got. And I'm going to leave the prescription, prescription. I'm going to leave the link in the description so you can read the article at your leisure. And that's all I got. So I will be back with another video in the future, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and click that notification bell for other upcoming videos and podcasts. And thank you for joining me, and everyone have a great evening. Thank you for joining me. Good night.